Welcome to Information Week. I'm Senior Editor Xiao Pierre Ruth, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with AMD's CIO, Hasmukh Ranjan. We're going to have a discussion today looking at his role as CIO, understanding some of the things that go on in terms of how a CIO-led effort kind of elevates IT within the AMD organization, and also look at what it means to be a CIO in this AI era. Hasmukh, thank you so much for making yourself available today. Appreciate your time.
No, thank you for inviting me, JP, to this forum.
Gotcha, great. Okay, so let's talk about, you've been the CIO for AMD for, I guess, a bit more than 3 years now?
Yep, 3.5 years now.
Okay, great. So let's talk about a CIO-led effort for IT. What does that really mean in terms of like the approach that you've brought to leading things within your organization, and from your perspective, how that's kind of helped transform things within AMD?
Yeah, and you're talking about the AI context, right? So, from AI perspective, the CIOs in any enterprise, and much less AMD, we look at it in multiple layers and have some stack so that we can think about it very clearly. So at the bottom of the layer is, you need to get your hardware layer and everything right, which is what we call plumbing. So all the GPUs, the data center, the networking, you have to get all those things right. So you have to think about that from that layer of you have the GPU and the infrastructure that is needed to build whatever you want to do. Then on top of that layer, we talk about curated data. So we say that without data, you don't have an AI platform. Over time, the differentiation between different enterprises will be the quality of data that they will be able to have, that they can put in front of different LLMs or other AI tools, so that they can harvest it for the benefit of the company. And then the third layer is where all the noise is today, which is LLMs or the AI agents or agentic frameworks and everything that you need to have. But for a successful enterprise, you need all those three layers very clearly defined. Where internally we call it PCH, which is plumbing, curated data, and harvesting of the data. And that's how we have been preparing inside of AMD to take advantage of the opportunities that AI tools provide to make us more efficient here internally.
Okay. Now, when you stepped into your role as CIO, that was kind of like really, from the outside perspective, that was like right before the AI era craze really kind of kicked off. Was for you, from your perspective, was you kind of generally aware of like, okay, this is where things were going, and then the rest of the world became aware of it, or was it like, okay, this happened, kind of like shortly into you stepping to the role, and like let's get them sweet. What was that really like for you?
For the nature of the job that my company does, the products that we create, we definitely have a much earlier insight into this platform that, okay, this is coming and we need to get ready. So taking advantage of that added visibility in the marketplace, being a CIO of a company which makes IT products, GPU products, it was a very good place to be, to see what is coming and get ready for how we can take advantage of this new platform.
Gotcha. So with AMD, you're very involved in this overall space. But talk to me about the role of CIO within an organization that is essentially working on delivering products that are technology, but on the hardware side of technology. How are you working with your IT teams, the tech teams? How do these things come together within your organization?
Yeah, look, the basic role of an IT group in any company is to make sure that every employee around the world is as efficient as they can be for the work that they're assigned to do. Right? So that part of the work is always there in any IT organization, in any company. On top of that, you layer that we are working on creating IT products. So to lead an IT organization in a company that makes IT products is a privilege, and it gives you a lot of other opportunities to be partner on the product aspect, to testing, to making sure that you have right level of feedback. And then a company as dynamic as AMD is, how do you make sure that you have all the resources and tools that your engineers are looking for, not only for today, but in the near term, so that you are quickly anticipating right from the massive amount of computation that is needed to generate different semiconductor chips, right from that layer all the way to different tools that are needed to make them more efficient in terms of the system as well as the employee base. So the work is in the is total, right from the basic layer of IT all the way to partnering with a high level of engineering community and making them as productive as we can.
These days, we hear a lot about the use of AI in every level of like lots of different types of jobs. When it comes to the IT roles within your organization, we hear a lot about like AI being used towards coding. Is that something that AMD is like? Yes, of course, your products are being used towards towards the technology that drives AI, but making use of AI internally for coding and the developers that are working inside AMD. Is that something that you've really tried to like foster? Like what kind of balance have you been looking at with that?
Right. I mean, if you look at the marketplace today, right, and we look at AI in 4 stages, right? First one we call assist, where some of the tools that you talk about, like coding assistants or chatbots or other set of tools that are there, they are in assist category. Then we say, okay, we will allow AI agents to, or industry will allow AI agents to take action. So they will move into action, then automate and autonomous. So we think that AI story is not about just assistance and making an employee more productive than what they do. It is about how do you take advantage of starting from there to start building and marching towards autonomous system, and that's where the leverage is. So we start from everything that you said is absolutely correct. We have given the tools to the engineers or others who are taking advantage of different assist tools, be it coding or be it drafting a document or be it streamlining certain work functions by having those assistance tools. Right from there to the different tool sets where you can automate workflows or you can build towards autonomous system, and how do you traverse that path. So we have a long-term view of how AI can be advantageous to an enterprise, and we think it will take about 3 to 4 more years before industry or enterprises start realizing full value of AI adoption.
We're seeing a lot of scrambling, big moves in terms of trying to grab the what's deemed the top tier AI talent or AI prospects. I'll just put it out there that a lot of people are throwing big money at different people in this space. Is chasing the people who are developing AI, is that something that you feel like just as CIO that like is crucial for organizations these days, or is it more of there are other technology disciplines that are still really relevant they're important? Maybe they don't get the big money, but that are still part of like, hey, we want to make sure that this is part of our team and our organization.
See, this happens in every technology wave, right? As they come, then there are some set of people who are super paid or highly qualified. But then there is another class of people that you have and you invest in to make sure that you get to do what you need to do for the job that you have, right? It is almost impossible to comprehend that we will have everybody completely AI trained and we'll hire everyone who is completely AI trained. It is just not possible. It has never been possible in the past when the technology shifts have happened. It is all about working with employees who are willing to change and learn, as they have done in past with other technology platforms. This is here. So we have hired people, we have hired fresh graduates, we have hired seasoned developers, but it's all about how do we make sure that we retool and retrain our broader employee base so that they become part of the bigger journey, right? And that is very important. And how do you handle the change management? How do you make sure that everybody has the tools and resources to take advantage of and upgrade their skill set to take advantage of what is on offer today?
Okay. So since taking on the CIO role, what have been your kind of like personal directives, personal marching orders and objectives with what you're working on with AMD?
Yeah, in the context of AI, it is for sure. We are, a AI company that makes AI product. It is in our interest to make sure that we take advantage of AI, that opportunity that it provides, not only internally, but also be a lead voice of how we are doing things internally to take advantage of this new platform. From that perspective, it has been a very, very good place to be. And we have been part of this entire journey where we started from the basics, where initial in early phases, we made multiple mistakes. We still make mistakes, but this journey has been very, very solid in terms of making sure that we enable our enterprise for AI and taking advantage of AI for getting better and better in terms of all layers of our operations. So it's not only about engineering; it's about automated IT operations, it's other SG&A functions, and how do we continue to make progress there.
Has this technology cycle in regards to AI really been different from other types of technology cycles that you've seen and experienced, and how so? What are some of the differences that you're seeing relative to other types of newer developments taking hold and is kind of like shifting how your organization and other organizations are really evolving on our IT side?
I think the biggest thing has been the velocity of change. I think the velocity with which AI has come in and gone around the world in that short amount of time, I don't recall any other technology wave that we have seen or I have seen in my IT career has had that kind of velocity. So how do you make sure that you are ready for that? Thankfully, we had some early warning, and we have access to the platform to the extent that we can. So in that context of high velocity, how do you make sure that you are doing the right things, making sure that you are not getting confused by different industry jargons or buzzwords that derail you from the initiatives that you need to focus on. So you need to have a very clear objective, you need to have very clear KPIs, and you stay focused on moving from point A to point B and not get distracted by a lot of things that come in play around this wave, and as it has happened in prior waves as well.
So obviously AMD has its component that the role is playing within the AI evolution. What else are you watching kind of like externally to try and see, how this all comes together, the different elements that are part of the overall evolution of AI, and then of course how that then influences, your approach within your organization?
Yeah, so we all are watching the industry. There is no conference that you go to or meetings that you get invited to that is not talking about AI. So that part is there. So how we are looking at things is, but most of the conversations are happening. They're happening at building an agent or building something, or in some cases, it's just a PowerPoint concept. We strongly believe that enterprises that will take lead into this have a very clear AI strategy embedded on a data platform. Unless you can have a good data set, a curated data set, there is no AI. Enterprises have data sets. We need to make sure that our data strategy is as clean, as clear, and the right amount of investments have happened. Only then you can talk about different LLMs and all, and have a longer term view of migrating from not only assist tools, like we are very busy with that today, but how do you take that data set to automate your workflows, build autonomous system, and think about that, right? So that has been our thought process, and that's how we are adjusting our internal investments as well as initiatives that we have for AI adoption.
And do you have any personal guiding principles that have really carried you through in your career and in your current role as CIO, or things that have evolved that you might want to impart to others who might be looking to become CIOs eventually at some point in their career, or evolving into comparable kind of spaces?
No, I think for any job that I would say that you have to love what you do. As many people have told me, how can you be very excited about managing an IT role that has challenges every day, or different flavor of challenge? But that's what I enjoy. That's what I enjoy. Anybody who is into an IT career, they need to understand that is the path that you have, that you are inviting chaos, and you have to embrace chaos as a part of your regular job. That's one part. The second part, which probably a lot of people are missing, is as this AI bandwagon is moving forward, as the investments in AI is moving forward, there will be no better time to work in IT than ever in past. Because as I said earlier, the entire AI is built on data. The entire data is built on an infrastructure, a scalable infrastructure that you need to have. Companies after companies have now newer appreciation for IT. We got a lot of appreciation during COVID time, an unfortunate time where everybody had to work from remotely, and then suddenly IT was in the center of how do you make sure that employees are working remotely and are efficient. Here is a real productive opportunity where AI cannot move forward without a strong involvement of IT into the enterprise and their role bigger and better than what it is today. So anybody who is into this area, I strongly encourage them that no, don't look at it only from today's lens, but where the industry is moving, where the world is moving, and where you will be placed with that central role around data management, managing AI tools, and all those things, which will enable your enterprise to be more successful.
Right. Hasmukh, thank you so much. Your thoughts and your insights have been fantastic. I really appreciate you making yourself available today to us.
Oh, thank you, JP. Thanks for your time, and thanks for asking those insightful questions.